Hello friends, and welcome to a very exciting video today because we are going to be sewing a cover for my hobonichi. Now, I was planning to do this already, and then Mrs. Quilty reached out to me and asked if I wanted to do a sponsored video with them. So they had a little cover that I could use, which was perfect. So thank you to Mrs. Quilty for sponsoring today's video. And I also roped in the help of a special guest, which you'll be very happy to know, who is sat right next to me. And it is my mum, so I definitely need her skills for this. So she is going to be helping me today. So everybody show some love in the comments and say thank you to her, because I would not be able to make this if it wasn't for her. So we're just gonna get started and see what happens. We were using the instructions for a passport cover because it essentially works the same way. All we had to do was change the dimensions of the actual cover, but each one has a bunch of different projects you can do. So the first thing I'm going to do is sew the top of the pockets, and this will be on the inside of the hobonichi cover, and I can just stick like stickers and other things in there that I want to use. The first step was to sew the pockets before we then moved on to the other pieces. So this is the one that I tried to do at home by myself, and it was a massive disaster, like a terrible disaster. So that is why my mum is now helping me today, because I have bullied her into it to help me because I need her skills.
Have you allowed for seam allowance on this?
Yes, I think.
Trying to not too much wastage.
I mean, there is loads of fabric in here.
There is lots, but it's not what not.
My mum was definitely helping me with the measurements and trying to figure out basically where I was sewing things, and then I was doing all the actual sewing, but she definitely knew what she was doing more than me. I have done sewing in the past, but I've never done like really tricky projects before, and this certain project we were choosing was more of a higher difficulty one. She is also a very crafty person, so she definitely enjoyed helping me as well. So I'm hoping I've sewn this correct.
So let's pretend you've done that there like that. That's going to live there. That's going to be your... They want you to line that as well then.
So I mean, this is too big, too wide.
Yeah, but we can trim it.
Okay. Oh.
We'll trim it to fit later. For example, so that's going to be sewn onto there like that. So it's going to perform the act of being
Before
that. Yeah?
Yeah.
So that is, so what it wants you to do, obviously, because it wants you to line
Oh, so it's
that.
yeah.
So do you want that lined with that or with that?
Whichever, honestly. 'Cause surely you won't see it.
You're not going to see it, but it's just to make it a bit prettier, isn't it? Down to there, all the way down to the bottom.
I have to stand up because if I sit on the chair, my foot won't reach the pedal for the sewing machine. My sewing is definitely a little bit wonky, but because it's just me that's going to be using this, and honestly, I'm not too bothered about that. It just is what it is.
So we need it to be 1.5 by whatever this is.
Okay, which fabric do you think I should use for the binding, or just use one that I've already got? Because I feel like if I use polka dots, it's going to look weird. So I can't use polka dots.
Well, let's have a look, because you're going to have that on the outside, that on the inside, aren't you? And then that's going to go there, so it matches the inside. It doesn't matter. So your binding's going to be here.
I feel like it needs to be something that's not, you're not going to be able to tell if it's wonky, basically.
It's going to be busy then, isn't it? Or you could go completely off piste and pick a different colour.
That's a bit too crazy for me.
So maybe that one then, because I think that one will be too ditzy against the...
Yeah, and the blue's different.
Yeah, whereas you're picking up that blue, aren't you?
Yeah, and I was like, well, if I do the gingham, it's just going to be like... So yeah, I'll do this.
Right, so you need to go completely diagonal.
Okay.
Stops it stretching then, you see.
So we're just cutting the binding, which will go around the edge of it to hopefully make it nice and neat.
Or going down that edge there.
What, just right next to the seam, or?
1/8 of an inch, so it's basically that, about 3 mil.
The pocket was definitely the hardest bit to do, so from then on it just got a lot easier to do each piece, and it was really fun to see it slowly coming together as well. We have done the pockets, so we are now going to do the front and the back, and hopefully that should be the easy part because we've done the difficult bit now. Okay, front and back piece is done, and I don't know, what is this piece called? The flap, I don't know. And then this, well, you can't actually see it because it's the same pattern. This is like the little pocket, so it should, once we put the binding on, fit like that, hopefully. So we are on to the last job, which is to add the binding around the edge, which should make it neat, hopefully. But the hobonichi fits, so that's a bonus. This is what it's looking like on the inside.
More like a miracle that it fits.
Yes, can confirm. And it's definitely like a bit wonky, but that's my sewing skills. So now I've got to hope that once I've sewn the binding on, the hobonichi will still fit. So fingers crossed. But it's looking cute. I feel like with the subscription boxes, you can definitely edit all of the designs to almost fit what you want them to do. So you could make the project or just change it a little bit like we did. And even with the same project, I feel like I could make like book covers or other journal covers and just lots of different things that I can gift to people and remake. And each box comes with lots of different fabrics, so we basically mixed and matched so that we could use the blue designs for my hobonichi cover, but I still have so much fabric left over to play with different projects. Okay, it is all, oh, there's a massive thread there. It is all finished, and it did actually fit, which is surprising because we didn't actually have faith in ourselves that it would do. But it's even got a little pocket where we can put some stuff, and now it will be protected forever. Do you think we did a good job?
We did do a good job. I feel I did 90% of the job.
You did, definitely. You definitely did most of it. So yeah, we should definitely say thanks to my mum because I would not have this if it wasn't for her. But yeah, it is very cute.
It's very cute.
Now that the journal cover is all finished and I'm now back home, I basically wanted to journal about it, of course, because that's what I tend to do. And I just thought I could talk to you a bit more about the process of it. But here is the finished cover. Honestly, I'm in love with it. I love the little pockets that I can just add my stationery in there. And it really makes me want to make some more of these covers, but for some of my other journals or my other planners. So I'm thinking I might do that because I am just so happy with the result of this one. And I feel like the gingham is really cute as well. So I am genuinely impressed as to how it turned out because I wasn't too confident with us changing the design. We weren't sure if it was going to work out, but it did, and I'm very, very happy that it did. So basically in each subscription box you get a big chunk of fabric and lots of different designs so that you can use them with the designs in the box, and you can also use them obviously with different projects And I found that there seems to be enough fabric to do every single project in the boxes that I've received so far. So I've already made a book sleeve, which was really fun, and I'm planning on making some other things as well with the leftover fabric and some of the other projects. In every project as well, you get step instructions, so it's really easy. You also get some equipment that's used for quilting, so the transparent pen that would come off once you heated it was really helpful for making sure that the seams were nice and neat. And I also got the little square measurer thing, I don't know what it's called, so that I could measure out like my quilting squares and things like that. So they just get lots of different goodies in the box that you can use, and I've definitely used bits from each box within each project because I've just found it's given me more options with design wise and things like that. And something that was very helpful as well is on some of the instructions, there's actually a QR code that will take you to a YouTube tutorial, which was very helpful when me and my mum got stuck on one of the bits and we just couldn't visualize it. So having a look at that just helped us to understand and made sure that we didn't do anything wrong. Now, the reason why I basically needed my mum's help for all the projects so far is because I always chose the most difficult one. So all the projects have different difficulties, and I never chose the beginner level one. So the next one that I do by myself, I am going to choose the beginner level so that I am able to actually do it by myself. But because I'm just not a huge experienced sewer, then I just needed her help for some things, whereas she would have been absolutely fine just cracking on with the more difficult patterns because she has the experience in that. So yeah, I think that Mrs. Quilty's subscription is really good if you want to try out quilting, and also good if you are a quilter and you're just looking for a bit of inspiration each month, something to maybe get you back in the hobby, or maybe you just want to try and push yourself creatively. I feel like there is so many different options to choose from. And I hope you have enjoyed watching me as well create these things. It's definitely a bit of a different video for me sharing with you, and I hope you also enjoyed obviously having my mum with us too. So for the spread, I went with lots of blue things to of course match the cover of my new hobonichi cover, and I used some blue paper, blue washi stickers, and I also had these letters which almost look like they'd been quilted, so I felt like they were really perfect for the title of this spread. And I also wanted to add an Instax picture of me and my mum and obviously our finished product because we still had a really fun day crafting and we really like to do those sorts of activities together as well. So I feel like it is definitely something that you could do with a friend or a family member, and because there is so many goodies in the box, you could definitely, do a project each at the same time, or do the same project but with some of the different fabrics. So my mum says she's gonna try and make the purse that's in the Mrs. Quilty box, and she's gonna have a go at that and make that for herself with some of the leftover fabric and some of the other designs. I also use these almost like textile fabric and embroidered stickers to decorate the spread as well. And for me, it's been so long since I've done some sewing. I used to sew basically every single day. I used to have a little small sewing business and I just haven't done it for a very long time. So doing these projects has almost reignited my love for the hobby, and it's made me want to make some more things when my sewing machine has literally been in the cupboard for years. So it's been a really fun experience for me as well to just get back into something and try something different because I have never made any of these projects before, and now I feel a lot more confident and I feel like I could remake the cover without the help of my mum. I feel like I could tackle it by myself now. But yeah, I'm just so happy with it. I honestly love it, and I really want to make some more in some different colours. So yay! Thank you to Mrs. Quilty for sending us this box to try out as well. And if you want to have a go yourself, then you can use my discount code to get 20% off your first box. And thank you to my mum.
A pleasure.